I did get Ifugao Gongs from those guys too. So that was actually very cool.
That was very cool.
What's the difference between the Ifugao Gongs?
There's a thinness to it. It and even the material. It's I don't know, the material. In the fabrication, there's a certain difference. We have thicker gongs, at least in the region that we come from, the Western Bontoc regions. We have a different kind of gong, and so the Ifugao gongs I found to be much thinner. They're definitely tunable, because when we got them, I guess in the transportation, because they're piled up in so many different things, it got out of tune. So we actually had to grab hammer and like a mallet and kind of like gently mallet it out so that it was tuned to the right way. But it has a certain bounce to it too, so that when you strap it up to your belt, your hand will bounce in a certain way, and it'll bounce off your body also to create that sound that the Ifugaos really love.
It's lighter too, right?
It's much lighter.
Yeah, it's definitely lighter. It's more on the if you listen to the sound, it's more high pitched too.
Yeah.
The interplay is really interesting. But
there is a coloration too that's probably based on the metal that they use. And I don't know. There's probably a little bit of. It's hard to say what's in that, but I think there might be some copper because it has a certain coloration that it looks like oxidized. Yeah, it has a certain kind of copper thing because of the way the copper has a patina, and it definitely has a patina on it.
So it's a little darker?
Yes, it's definitely darker. It's not as brassy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's that extra shine that the copper has, right?
Yeah. And then they did say, hey, shine it up with motor oil, so yeah,
that's cool.
Recommendation, actually. It's sitting next to me, so let me see if I can pull it out. So
some guys even use ketchup to clean it because there's vinegar in the ketchup. Or other guys, they use motor oil because motor oil has a natural detergent. And the reason for using any type of oil usually on a gong is if there's more metal that will rust that's in the gong, though, usually. And it keeps it from especially if there's a lot of brass there, it keeps it from getting green.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hard to tell on video here.
It's kind of hard to tell, but this is an Ifugao gong. You can see that it's a little bit, there's a thinness to it.
It's much lighter.
It has a certain.
I see the thinness.
Right.
I see it now. Yeah.
So I'm just doing it with one hand, but yeah. So there's a certain bounce that you have.
Nice.
Yeah, you have to have a loose wrist.
And that's what it has, and it's a little bit different than, for example, I have some here Benguet style gongs.
Yeah, that was made in Benguet.
Yeah, which is a little bit different. This is like it's nice and thin. It's thick. This is almost twice as thick as the other one.
Yeah. That's what I'm used to seeing.
Yeah.
And there's definitely a lot more, the material. There's something else that's different, and it offers a different kind of patina than this guy. You kind of see. It's hard to see.
Yeah.
You can kind of see it.
Just that, yeah.
Interesting. That's cool. Yeah, I've never seen an Ifugao gong.
Yeah, so you just really feel kind of privileged to have it. And I guess that happens when you're married to an Ifugao person. So, hey.
Nice. Yeah, I'm just used to seeing gongs made from Bangkayan.
Oh, and this is the beater too. Different. It's like a thin stick instead.
Oh.
For the Ifugao.
Yeah, the thickness and the density of the stick will completely change the sound. and what you're looking for.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think either Ryan or Ken mentioned that something.
What did they say?
No, they're just saying that depending on the gong and the stick, it's quite
You make a
different.
difference.
Yeah, the
Yes,
combination.
yes. That's
And-
why if you could find well, for most of our regions, they love a certain kind of like a hardwood kind of stick because it has a certain weightiness, and it'll deliver the actuation. It'll deliver the energy from your body into the gong.
Right.
Yeah, and
But
actually, especially, it'll determine how you articulate the gong. So, like, if the stick itself, I like to put leather on the top because it's soft enough.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what we see here
and
too.
yet it'll still allow the. It depends on how hard the wood is. If the wood is like really tends to be really on the thicker side and it's really dense, then you
Mhm.
want to get like something that'll soften that up. So I've used leather around the end, and that
Yeah.
works really good.
We used
or
to see
even-
that a lot here, but
Yeah.
Mm.
they were never maintained, so we just end up playing with the wood.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
so I have two different sticks here. One is broomstick candle. This is broomstick candle, and it's not as dense. This is a much more dense, kind of like hardwood kind of feeling kind of thing. And I can't remember what tree it's from, but it actually might be.
That's a tree from the backyard.
Yeah, but it's harder. And
Mm.
Nice.
and my dad started carving these things up from a tree that came from our backyard. But it's definitely hard. And I can't remember what it was. What is it? Avocado?
I forgot the name.
Nice.
But this
it's
one
flower-
makes a very
big flowers.
pleasing sound. Yeah, this one. Well, this is out of necessity. It's just a. But I keep them because sometimes you require a different kind of sound.
Yeah, all the instruments and stuff. I would love to do a thing about that, but I think it's a little difficult when we're
It
not
is.
in
It's
person.
hard.
Yeah.
If we were in person, I think it'd be pretty awesome to touch on this. But,
Soon.
yeah,
You could do something just to show how to articulate certain gongs, just like kind of like an overview stuff. I mean, even like you were talking about some of the Ifugao stuff, like you could talk about the symbolism of the movement,
right.
some of the dances.
Yeah,
Right,
I
you
love
could do
that
that.
type of breakdown. It just again it makes the dances a little bit more meaningful, at least for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.